Hi friends, I'm Laura, this is Baker Drinks. I won the Total Wine Lottery again. That's very exciting news. If only I could win the real lottery and be able to buy everything I want, but I won the Total Wine Lottery again. So this time it was for the Angel's Envy Cask strength. So I'll give you a little rundown of the day because this Total Wine is a few hours away from me, so of course I got to do a little bottle hunting. I did not get great footage. I do have some. I'll let you see what I found on the shelves, but this is Washington, so most likely the prices at most places are crazy high, and I think because it was a weekday that I traveled up there early in the day, the people working there were bored, I think, because I had a lot of conversations with the workers, just so it's hard to record when people are talking to you, but I still appreciate talking to them, and I'll take you on that journey. So first we stopped at Grand Mound, Washington. It's not a huge liquor store, but it has a lot of bottles that I would not expect to see at a small store. I think they had a Stag Junior for, I don't know, it was probably around $300. They had the Jack Daniels, the double oaked single malt, whatever this one year's called, and I really want to buy it, but it was, I believe, $700, and I just can't pull the trigger on something that high. Even though I love Jack and I really want to try that one, someday I will at least find a pour that I don't have to pay $700 for one taste of it, which is really all I care about. They had, Boss Hog. It was, I think, MSRP or close to. I mean, it was like $900, which I think MSRP was $800, so relatively close. And then this journey during the day, I think a lot of the stores probably got their shipments because we saw the Sazerac, just, you know, the baby Saz as people call it, just the normal Sazerac bottle, but it was the large one. And I honestly find the 1.75 liter bottles kind of comical a lot of times. You know, it's like really fat. Like, I don't even know how you would pour something out of a bottle like that without spilling it or making a mess or pouring way more than you want out. But there was the Sazerac, the Buffalo Trace, the Eagle Rare. We saw all of them, and the Eagle Rare I also find very comical because it's like this tall. I mean, I wouldn't have a shelf to put it on, and it, you know, it'd be awkward. You need like two hands to pour it out. It's not practical. I think 750 ml bottles are pretty much the way to go. Maybe 1 liter, but when you get beyond that, they just get a little crazy. So we saw those at multiple stores, and we didn't really get anything at that first store, just the Jameson Orange, nothing special. It was just that it was on sale for $10, so we decided to get that. Then we went to one of my favorite stores in Lacey. Again, it's not a huge store. You know, it's hit or miss. So they either have some stuff that's a great price, like MSRP, and I can't find anywhere else, or they have things that are crazy priced. So you just never know. I like to check it out every time I'm in the area just so I can see if they have something good. Then we went to a store I'd never been to in Tacoma, and honestly, it was the fanciest whiskey store I've ever been to. I loved it. The prices were pretty good for Washington. And again, we were the only people in the store, so the guy working was very talkative and liked to talk to us and helped us with things. So while we were there, we just can't help ourselves with these Russell's Private Barrel Selection bottles. We can't pass them up. It's one of our favorites, so we get them every time we see them. And same with the Old Forester Single Barrel. We have several of each of these bottles, but we love them, so we just keep going back. And then I love trying new bottles, new types of whiskey. So I got the Penderyn. They had 4 or 5, I think 5 different Penderyns. So I just asked the guy what his favorite was, and he kind of walked me through all of them, and he said that this was his favorite, so it's the one I picked up. This is a single malt Welsh whiskey. This one's called Sherrywood. I will probably do a review of this just because I like doing reviews of whiskeys from around the world. But it's a beautiful bottle and equally as beautiful tasting. It is very good. Then after that, we just headed up to Bellevue to finish our shopping, get our Angel's Envy cask strength, and it's fun shopping in that Total Wine. It's bigger than the one around me, so but really they didn't have anything that I needed for the most part. We've been curious about this Balcones rye. So this is a cask strength single barrel straight rye whiskey. It's a pick by Total Wine, so we had to pick that up because Balcones is just interesting, and we wanted to know what their take would be on a rye because their bourbon is so different than anything else that you taste. Texas is just wild, and I mean, look at the color of that. It is so dark. I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but that is a dark bottle of whiskey. And then we just got some more cocktail type stuff. Nothing really else whiskey related other than this Angel's Envy cask strength. And yes, I did already have a bottle of this, but you know, since I won, I had to get another one. It was not my first choice. I think it was probably my 6th or 7th choice on the lottery, but it's very good. So let's have a little taste. Just has this little emblem down here that says cask strength, 59.9% or 119.8 proof. This is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey finished in port wine barrels. Let's have a taste. Well, I guess first I can smell it because wow. So that is very fruity. You can tell it's finished. It did not burn my nostrils. Which is surprising because usually I go in way too aggressive with that first smell. I just want to experience it, so I go a little aggressive. But it is sweet. It's a little bit oaky, but there's kind of a tart note to it. So maybe like a green apple, or it's tart and sweet. So maybe a little citrus, maybe some caramel. It smells good, it's interesting, it's not one-dimensional, there's a lot going on. Let's taste. Okay. I considered not going up there to purchase this bottle because after taxes in Washington, it's around $300, which is a very high price to pay for one bottle of whiskey. But oh, I just had to do a little happy dance there. I am happy that we picked this up. I don't know that if somehow things go crazy and I win the next one, because I think they do 3 or 4 drawings a year, and we have been pretty lucky so far. I just don't know that I could pick up a third because of the price, but it is so good. I mean, this is gonna last me several years. We have so many bottles. There's no reason to have backups on backups on backups, but this is very good. Let's try it again. So the experience of drinking this is even better than the flavor. It's got a great mouthfeel. It's got a good hug. It's a good proof point. I mean, I do appreciate, those whiskeys that are like 130 proof, that are just crazy high proof. But when you get just a little bit lower, it's such a more balanced and enjoyable experience. And I mean, this says it's 119 proof. I don't even know that it drinks like that. I think it's closer to 110, which for me is my sweet spot. But you can definitely tell it's finished. So if you don't like finished whiskey, you probably wouldn't like this one. But this is a much more elevated version of the normal Angel's Envy. It's got that fruitiness from the port. It's dessert in a glass. A little bit spicy, but mostly it's just sweet and fruity and vanilla and oak. And it's just what I would expect from an Angel's Envy product. I don't know how they get so much flavor into their bottles from their finishes, but it is very good. So if you can find a pour of this, because we also, before I ever was able to buy a bottle, we did try it at a bar, and honestly that's probably the most likely way that you'll be able to find it. So I hope you have a whiskey bar near you that has a good selection, because this one is very good, but it is pricey. So it's hard to recommend a bottle that's that expensive, but I love it. I think it's really good. It makes me happy. It has a good experience. It's gonna look great on the shelf. All in all, I recommend this bottle. I just wish it was a little cheaper, but that's just because I don't want to spend that much money. I don't want to work multiple jobs like I have been doing for years. I'd prefer to just have one job, or, you know. So I hope you can find great bottles. Let me know if you have been lucky with lotteries recently or in the past. Cheers. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.